What is going on, guys? John with Bull-Throttle Trading. Today I just wanted to make another live trade video. I had a few of you guys reach out to me and ask for more of those videos so you could kind of get a better idea of what it's like being in a trade. And again, just because I'm doing things a certain way, it doesn't mean you have to do them, but it helps to give you an idea of what it's actually like being in a trade, especially if you're a beginner. One of the things that I struggled with when I started day trading was I didn't like holding a position very long. I tend to have a very conservative trading approach. So when I was first starting out, I was literally scalping, and it really wasn't easy for me to hit my daily goal by doing that. And it's a lot of trades. So again, if you're under the PDT rule, it really wouldn't work out for you that way because I was making so many trades that were a small dollar amount. And I found more value in learning how to ride the trade longer, and a lot of that is getting better at identifying patterns and identifying trends and being able to wait for those opportunities where you're trading in a trend that is in your favor. So if you guys are ready, I'm going to kick it off. Alright, so as you guys can see, I have an open position in degas right now. So natural gas, before the market opened, had a very big pull up back, right? And so we can see that here, that we hit these highs when natural gas hit its lows, right? Because again, degas does the inverse. So we had these highs, and then we started to get this pullback, and we reached a low of around 226.89, right? And we started kind of picking back up. So looking at natural gas, it looked like, okay, we've established this resistance level, which would be this support level, and we started pushing up, and I ended up taking a small position size, right? And we rode up, and I got above this EMA line here, and I ended up increasing my position size. And then we had this pullback, and then a push back up, and now this pullback. And right now we can see we're just kind of consolidating, right? We can see that we're starting to get this bullish flag, right? So we have these higher lows, and we have this same resistance point, right? So we're creating this bullish flag looking thing, which is, you know, usually a good indication that once we could break above this resistance point, you know, natural gas, when it starts moving, it moves. So that's one of the reasons why I enjoy trading natural gas. So you can see I have a stop loss in for 80 shares. I'm in for 100 shares. So, and I'm keeping this tight, right? So if my stop loss ends up going out, I'll still have 20 shares. And this way I can kind of monitor and see what degas is doing. And if it has a dip, then I can buy in and average down, and then my average price will be a little bit higher, and then as it pushes back up, you know what I mean, then I'll be able to try to make some more money. So I have a limit order in up here around, let's see, what is this, 238.69, which is actually a little bit, like if that goes through, I'll be a little bit over my daily goal, so I have that there just, again, to lock in profits if I get there, because again, once I hit my goal, I'm okay calling it a day. I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to try to force trades. If I get to that point where I'm over my daily goal, I like to have it lock in my profits and call it a day. You know, maybe in the future, if I end up trading as a career and I don't have a day job, then, you know, maybe I'll just bring my stop loss up and allow it to continue to keep running. But again, my lifestyle doesn't really accommodate for that just yet. So I do think I am going to raise my stop loss a little bit as this goes up. But again, we're right now we're consolidating. So it looks like we're approaching this previous resistance again, right? So we can see we are testing it. We're still kind of consolidating, so we don't really have a clear direction yet, which is why, I'm tightening in my stop loss so I can keep myself protected as this changes, right? Um, I don't want to be stuck holding something that, can start to go out of my favor. So I want to make sure that I do my part at managing my risk. And then, like I said, so I'll have 20 shares left over if my stop loss goes out. So now if this dips and say we get down to like maybe this point and we start to identify a support, then I can buy in at more shares at this lower price, which is going to drop my average price. So that means that in order for me to reach my break even point, I'm not going to have to climb as high, right? So these are things that we try to do to, again, manage our risk but not walk away from an opportunity. How many times have any of you guys ever been in a situation where a stock starts to go out of your favor, so you panic sell, and then you end up finding out that, okay, it wasn't a reversal, it was just a pullback, and then it ends up finding a support, and then it continues to go in your favor, and now you've walked away from that opportunity. So that's one of the things that we want to try not to do. So it looks like natural gas is now getting some lower lows. It's starting to sell off more, so we're seeing this push in degas. See, so we're getting these higher highs. We're starting to push off. I'm going to raise my stop loss to a little below this EMA line here. And this way, again, if it goes out of my favor, I could lock in some profits. I'm above. I have my stop loss in at 231.50, so I'm a little below my average price. But again, this will keep my position size small if this starts to go out of my favor. It won't necessarily make any money on it yet, but again, it's still early in the day, so I want to allow myself to be able to take advantage, right? So, I mean, like I said, we've seen that the trend on natural gas right now is a downward trend. So natural gas is trading between the middle and the lower VWAP, and we can see that degas is now trading between the middle and the upper VWAP. So that is indicating to us a bullish trend, right? So this is, again, excuse me, we want to trade with the trend. The trend is your friend, right? So we want to allow ourselves, it makes it easier for us as traders being in a position that the stock is moving in our favor, right? I mean, why would you want to try to, trade against the trend of a stock and make profits? It's not managing your risk. It's a foolish thing. And sometimes, like a stock, like I said, if you get stuck in a situation where maybe you started panic selling and then it bounces and goes in your favor, and now you become so destined to like get that money back from that stock. And it's, again, you don't want to force trades. We want to allow ourselves to just keep things, going, think long term, do something that your future self will thank you for. So, if we're in a trade and it's not going in our way, let's not panic. Let's try to learn from it. Let's try to strategically think of a way that we could, again, manage our risk and allow an opportunity to, carry on if it's there. We don't want to trade on hope. Hope is not a good strategy. We want to trade on, again, thinking long term, overall profitability, managing our risk. These are the important things that make a trader's success, and this is why 90% of the people who try to make money on the stock market fail, is they don't take the time to learn, to practice, and do all these key things that are necessary in order to become a profitable trader, right? So we're still kind of pushing this resistance here. We're testing this limit. Natural gas is possibly identifying a support right now. So again, we want to just keep an eye on this. All right, it looks like it's selling off a little bit more. So we're going to see, here it goes. DGAS is pushing more. I'm going to raise my stop loss up some more. Just again, so I could lock in profits if this starts to go in out of my favor. As we can see, I'm at 233.57. My average price is 230. So if my stop loss does go in, I will lock in some profits, right? One of the things that I do want to try to emphasize with you guys is, especially when you're starting, I know I have my active trader here so I can see where I'm at. Be careful if you have this up on your screen while you trade. Like I know I have a $500 a day goal and I was just at $411, and you don't want to end up like making a bad call on your trade because, again, you're being driven by this dollar amount that you want to hit, and that could get you in a lot of trouble. And I've done it plenty of times, and that's something that you don't want to see happen. All right, so now my stop loss just went through, so we can see as of right now I'm up $222 on the day, and my position open I have 20 shares, and with those 20 shares I'm up $69.40, right? So we can see now that we had a big push on natural gas, and natural gas is now pushing up to its EMA line. So we might see DGAS drop down to this EMA line. So now what I'm going to do is I have a small position size. So again, I'm managing my risk, right? So if this starts to drop, okay, if it starts to pick back up again, then I can buy in more and increase my position size, and again try to capitalize on making a profit, right? So right now natural gas is very oversold, and we can see DGAS is on the overbought side, right? Our MACD, we're starting to indicate that this change of direction might start coming. Not that I would call it a reversal, but it could be a pullback. So what I want to pay attention to now is, okay, is DGAS going to pull back, and where are we going to find a support level? Is it going to be on this EMA line? We can see that it gets close to this EMA line and it starts to push back up. So again, we want to pay attention and make sure that we do our best. It's looking like natural gas is starting to sell off more, so I'm going to increase my position size again. So now we can see my average price is 233.40, right? So now we're watching this go. I'm going to get a stop loss ready here. Oh no! See, that was not what I wanted to do. Now that was a big mistake on my part. I'm going to buy back in again. Alright, now I'm going to hit sell, and I'm going to go to edit. There we go. Alright. Oh, that was such a bad mistake. Okay. So now my average price is at 234. So that was definitely not what I wanted to do. My position size is large, so I want to have my stop loss very tight here. So I'm thinking maybe 233.70 looks good. I want to be tight to where this previous resistance point was, just because right now, well, basically you guys saw I made a bad mistake, and that ate into a lot of my margin, so I'm not too happy about that. But again, things happen. We make mistakes. We just do our best to recover from them, and don't let it break away from our goal, our plan. So we always want to have a plan. We want to stick to our plan, and do our part as traders to challenge ourselves daily on these things. And this is why we want to do that. Again, nobody's perfect. Every one of you guys at some point is going to make a mistake, and depending on what kind of a mistake you make, it's going to provide an opportunity on something that you are going to have to try to fix now. So that's what we want to do, is we want to try to fix these mistakes, and that's where the practice and having a plan, and when that plan doesn't go according to plan, we want to be able to listen to me. We want to be able to try to react, right? And again, we don't want to get stuck in a panic sell situation, but we want to make sure that we're challenging ourselves and that we're growing, so that in the future, when we do make these mistakes, we're more prepared to do our part to fixing those mistakes, right? I mean, believe me, I've had days where, um, I had a large position size and I went to sell it out, and because the trade was going out in my favor, and it's like I only ended up selling like 1/10 of my position size while watching it drop, and then realizing like, oh my God, I'm down thousands of dollars right now. So, all right, so now we could see, all right, now we're starting to find this new support level. So my stop loss went through. We're now down 233. So we're testing this EMA line. It looks like we're finding a solid support here. Again, our direction isn't completely clear, but we're staying above this EMA line. I'm going to set an alert on natural gas to see if it breaks below its last support point, which would be this resistance point. So we want to see this break above and get these higher highs. And it looks like natural gas is doing a good job at selling off here. So I'm going to increase my position size again. So I'm now at 234.60 is my average price. And I'm going to get a stop loss ready. Let's see, what was our low here? 233. So I'm going to drop this in for now. Alright, so we're getting this push again. Keep this right below the EMA line. Natural gas is testing the support. So you can see here we're testing this resistance level here. We're trying to break above it. So we're waiting to see what's going to happen. Again, we have our stop loss here. We're managing our risk. And this is again why we want to be careful having this active trader open and being able to see this, right? So we want to make sure that we're not chasing that dollar amount. I know it's frustrating right now. I was at 411 and now it's only at 206.40. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking like, oh, why didn't you lock in your profits? Then you only needed $89 more on the day. And yes, I get where you're coming from, and I could have entered another position and tried to get that $89 and probably done it. But at the same time, again, this is what I mean about challenging myself. So I want to do these things now and have my future self be able to thank me, right? So I want to be able to hit these goals and trade on opportunity, not on a dollar amount, right? I mean, yes, we're all here to make money, but I want to seize opportunities, and I want to be able to identify these opportunities and successfully and, consecutively be able to perform, right? I know we all have different goals. One of my goals is I would love to make, trading a career for me. So, I want to take this time now to really focus on making good trades and doing my part as a trader to make good calls. All right, so we can see, again, the trend is still in degas's favor. Natural gas is still selling off, so we're pushing back up. It's happening slowly, but again, it's a trend, right? So we want to stay with the trend. We want to keep going until we start to see signs of a reversal. So we know that once we get close to this 237, this is a previous resistance for degas. So, we want to make sure that when we approach this previous resistance, that it would probably be a good time to lock in some profits, because we might start to now see that reversal on degas. So you don't have to sell your full position. What I like to do is, again, you can see I have my limit order or my stop loss in for 80 of my 100 shares. So, all right, natural gas is still pushing up. We're approaching this 237. So, maybe when we get there, I might want to raise my stop loss up and lock in some profits, right? So we want to do our best at managing our risk. We can see we're testing this resistance level. Testing. And it looks like we're starting to find a support. So I am going, oh, see, there it goes. I am going to lock in some profits here. And this is not going as planned. Are you going to fill? Oh, okay, we're going to keep bouncing. Okay, I am going to get a limit order ready. So that I can lock in profits. Okay, so my stop loss just went through, which I'm not sure why. Sometimes it's not good to have a stop loss, and that's a prime example of why. Okay, natural gas is testing a support, right? I'm testing a support. I think I'm just going to lock in the rest of my profits on DGAS right now. I'm not sure yet. I want to see what it's going to do. It's extremely overbought. We can see we're above 70 on our RSI. Again, we're right around this previous resistance point. So it makes sense that we would start to see maybe a little bit of a pullback here. Again, this doesn't mean that there's a reversal or a change of direction. It's just something that we can expect to see. Again, stocks don't just travel in a straight line, right? So we want to make sure that we identify these scenarios and do our best to capitalize on them. All right, so it looks like natural gas is starting to sell off again. I'm going to set an alert at this previous support level to see if we break below on natural gas, which means DGAS would break above this resistance point and we'd see new highs on the day. So again, we're waiting. We know our RSI, again, is on the overbought side. This doesn't mean that it can't continue to go up, right? It's just giving us an indication that we shouldn't be shocked if we start to see a pullback here, right? And the way that it's been trading, we can see that it's been finding the support on this EMA line. So we can see, all right, we're starting to sell off a little bit. So what I want to see now is if we get to this EMA line, are we going to bounce on it and use it as a support again? And if we are, then maybe I will increase my position size as it starts to show me confirmation that we're now going to bounce and continue moving upward, right? So you could see we're allowing the RSI to drop a little bit. We're giving it room to move back up. And again, we're doing our part as traders to manage our risk, right? We're keeping an eye on it. We're making sure, all right, there's a strong push. Again, direction isn't super clear. We're between this upper VWAP and this EMA line, right? So we're finding this, we're identifying this as a resistance, and we're identifying this EMA as a support. So, and as we see, the two of them are coming closer and closer together. So I'm not increasing my position size yet, because as I said, we might start to see a little bit of a reversal or a pullback. That may have been the pullback. We can see we're a little bit above the EMA line, but we might see it continue to push up from here. So again, we're going to just watch it. We're going to wait for confirmation and see what it does. All right, see, we dropped a little bit lower. We're getting closer to this EMA line, so we're testing this EMA line. I'm going to set an alert on natural gas to see if it goes above this EMA line. Again, the alerts just make it a little bit easier. It looks like natural gas is continuing to sell off here. It's trying. Alright, I'm going to delete this. How many shares do I have? I have 20 shares. Alright, we got a big push here. Natural gas is selling off. We got lower lows. You can see we got higher highs, so I'm going to increase my position size here. Again, that might have been a little too early, but I am going to get a limit order ready in case I want to cut. Alright, so we can see my position size, I have 40 shares. And on my active trader, I have 20 shares again. So if this starts to pull back and show me that we're going to have a pullback again, then I can sell half of my shares and keep my position size small so that I can wait and see what it's going to do. However, we reach these new highs here, so I feel like we're staying above this EMA line. We got some real estate here, so I believe we're going to see a pretty good push here. Again, natural gas is definitely a future that when it starts to move, it starts to move. So this is why I enjoy trading natural gas. I spend most of my time on natural gas, and it works for me, right? I've been seeing these, days in the green very often, and I'm not saying that to brag. It's just I found my niche. I found something that I'm comfortable trading. I see value in it, and I know that okay, if natural gas is selling off, then I could make plays in degas. And then if natural gas is running up, then I can make plays in UGAS. So I'm not having to scan for stocks all day. Alright, so it looks like we're testing this EMA line as a support. Oh, okay, we have a very aggressive, it looks like it's doing a good job holding up. I'm testing. So let's see what it's going to do here. This might be a good opportunity to average down a little bit. As you can see, the market price is over my average price, so I'm not going to do that. I kind of already did at a bad point. I thought we were going to continue to go up once we reach these new highs, but that didn't happen yet. So again, just doing my part to manage my risk and wait for confirmation. So natural gas is testing the EMA as a resistance. DGAS is testing it as a support. We can see now that we're a little less overbought, right? So we have some room to move up now. It's still on the overbought side, but the way it's been trading, again, we've seen this pattern that it's been between the EMA and the upper VWAP. So patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't always have to. So again, nothing is guaranteed. I'm keeping a close eye. My level 2 is showing that there's a lot of sellers right now on natural gas. So that's a good sign. We might start to see natural gas start to sell off. It looks like DGAS is finding a good support here on this EMA line. It's doing a good job holding above. So we're waiting to see. All right. We're testing this previous support now down here. I know DGAS isn't there yet, but if we look at our level 2, we can see 236. So we're sitting right here. Alright, there it is. We're testing this previous support. Will we drop below or will we start to pick back up? Natural gas's momentum is slowing down. So again, this might be a good point to average up or average down in my case. Alright, natural gas is still climbing. I'm going to set another alert here. Okay. Alright, so we're testing this support level. Looks like we're identifying and confirming the support level here. Natural gas is starting to sell. There are more buyers than sellers now though, so again, I'm not going to increase my position size and average down just yet. Okay. Alright, so we're starting to see a push now. Natural gas hasn't dropped below the EMA line yet, so we can see D-gas hasn't crossed above. So we don't have confirmation yet, but we can see that we're starting to establish a support level, right? So this might be the new higher lows, which means that we could expect to see some higher highs. So let's see, we're above the EMA line now. We're waiting to see if we could get more of a push. I am going to increase my position size here by another 20, so now I have 60. So I'm going to get 40 ready to sell. Oops. Alright, so we got a limit order ready to go. And as you can see, the limit order will change with whatever the bid price is. And this bid price is it's the highest amount that somebody is willing to buy right now, right? So we're keeping an eye on this. As we can see, our MACD is starting to lose momentum, meaning that we're starting to get more of a push on D-gas now. Natural gas is continuing to sell off. I'm going to set another alert here on natural gas. Oh, it already dropped below. So natural gas is starting to pull back. I'm going to set an alert here. Alright, we're continuing to sell off. So we see this big jump up here. Alright, natural gas is continuing to sell off. I'm going to set another alert here at this previous support level on natural gas. So that previous support level would be this high right here on D-gas. So now we're going to see if we can get these higher highs, right? So natural gas is testing this support level. Looking to see again if we can break below it. We're managing our risk again. D-gas is still on the overbought side. So we need to keep that in mind. And it's looking like natural gas is finding a support and starting to pick up. Now see, one of the things too with natural gas is very, very oversold on the 180-day chart, right? So this can indicate to us that, you know, natural gas is at a low on 180 days. So we might start to see a reversal as well, which is something that we need to, again, pay attention to and manage our risks. It looks like natural gas is testing the EMA line as a resistance. So we can see, again, that would mean that we're testing this EMA as a support on D-gas. Again, D-gas is the inverse of natural gas. So it does the opposite of what natural gas is doing. So, again, we're waiting to see what's going to happen here. We're looking for these higher highs. So we haven't had a change of trend yet. Our direction is a little unclear. We're kind of consolidating, but we've been getting these higher lows and we've been getting higher highs. So again, can we continue this pattern and continue to see higher highs now? So that's what we're looking for. It looks like it's doing a really good job holding on this EMA line. Alright, we're below the EMA line here, but again, we're charting this based off of natural gas because D-gas is reflective of natural gas and not vice versa. So, alright, there we got a push. Natural gas is starting to sell off some more. So let's keep an eye on this. I'm actually kind of shocked that natural gas is moving so slow right now. Again, the direction is still clear. We're still getting lower highs and lower lows on natural gas. So we're getting these higher highs and higher lows on D-gas. Alright, natural gas is starting to sell off more. We can see our ask price is now 237. Alright, so we broke above this high. We haven't gotten these higher highs yet, but D-gas is trying. So again, we just got to be patient here and see what it's going to do and be ready to strike. So I might actually get this ready for my full position size. So again, we're staying between this EMA line and this upper VWAP. Natural gas is testing this previous, what would be a resistance on D-gas. So we're trying to see if we could break below this support on natural gas. Again, I know you can't see that, it's on my other screen. But alright, we're starting to push a little bit more. So we're waiting for natural gas to get these lower lows. And we can continue to see this trend. So it's just moving really, really slow. So we got to be patient. There are a lot more sellers on natural gas than there are buyers. So again, this is a good sign. However, natural gas is doing a good job at consolidating. So again, we just have to be patient and on the ready. Alright, so we got a little bit of a push on natural gas. So it's testing that EMA line. We can see that here with degas. It's testing the EMA line as a support again. It's not looking like we're getting these lower lows. Degas is not getting the higher highs. But we're not getting lower lows either. We're just consolidating. So again, we're just waiting to see what happens. Like I said, I have a limit order here with my full position size ready to go. So I'm doing my part at managing my risk and making sure that I lock in profits when it makes sense if degas starts to go out of my favor. Alright, we're getting a push. Natural gas sold off a little bit. And it's pushing right back up. So, see, there we go. Degas drop back down to this EMA line. Very slow moving. I'm very shocked. So, let's see what it's gonna do. We have a lot more buyers than sellers on natural gas. Now, this might be the most boring live trade in the history of live trades, huh? Alright, natural gas is selling off. We're testing this previous support. So as you can see with degas, we're approaching this resistance. I'm going to set another alert here on natural gas. Wow. Not a lot of movement, just consolidation. So, again, holding during a consolidation isn't the most fun thing. Again, it might, be a good idea to be ready to sell out of this position and maybe come back a little later. Again, I'm waiting to see what happens here. Like I said, I have my limit order ready to go, keeping a close eye. My position size isn't huge. I have 60 shares. So again, we're just keeping an eye out and seeing what's happening. I don't want to sell out my position just yet. Again, not that I would be panic selling here, but I don't want to sell just because it's consolidating and then have it end up, having a nice push. So I don't want to commit to that yet. So you can see I'm still up in my position here. I'm very close to my daily goal, but again, I don't want to chase dollar amounts. But like I see, for me, I still see value in holding. I haven't seen any signs of a reversal yet. Natural gas is testing this previous support. We could see we're testing this previous resistance. All right. Natural gas is testing, trying to sell off. Can she do it? Can we see these higher highs? Oh, there's a little bit of a push. We're getting close. We are getting close. This is why it's good to be patient. We don't want to force trades. See, a little bit more of a push. We're approaching this previous high. Can we get higher highs? Natural gas is testing this support level. It is testing it. It just tested it the second time, so let's see. Are you going to break below? Can we see these higher highs on D-gas? Come on, baby. Again, the trend is our friend right now, so we still have this upward trend on D-gas. We still have a downward trend on natural gas. It's looking like we're starting to sell up. We got a little bit of a push on natural gas. It's starting to pull back a little bit. Volume is really, really low on natural gas right now, obviously. We're moving slow. We have very low volume. See, now we broke below. We're below the EMA line. Still consolidating. We're still, it's a higher low. So we're still in this trend. All right, natural gas just sold off a little bit, so we'll probably see a pop up here in D-gas a little. Get back above this EMA line. Let's see, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Natural gas is testing the support again. It's trying to. See, we could see D-gas is now back up above the EMA line. We just need these lower lows and higher highs on D-gas. Can we do it? Can we do it? Alright, I just got an alert. We got lower lows. It pulled back though. We can see D-gas didn't quite get the higher highs yet. Natural gas hit there and pulled back before anybody bought or sold. That's why we're not showing up on the chart yet on D-gas that we got these higher highs. If there wasn't a trade at that price, then it's not going to show up on the graph. So we're pushing, we're approaching. We're testing this. Natural gas is testing. And it got a little bit of a push there. I'm going to set another alert. And of course it's doing this because I'm so close to hitting my daily goal. So it's just going to consolidate right here and lock me in. So, but again, it pays to be patient. We still have this upward trend. We're getting these higher lows. We're testing these higher highs. We can see we're We're a little bit on the overbought side, but we're not above 70. So we can see this push up. Natural gas can sell off. There are a little more buyers than sellers in natural gas. Natural gas is doing a good job though staying below the EMA line. And we can see D-gas is doing a good job staying above the EMA line, right? So we're trading between this EMA and this upper VWAP. This is indicating us again that we have an upward trend going. Natural gas had a little push here, testing this EMA line. Alright, what's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? It's looking like natural gas may have found a good support level here, and the longer it's consolidating, I'm starting to see a push on natural gas now, so it might be a good idea to exit my position here on D-gas. I'm waiting to see what happens here. We're breaking below the CMA. We can see that we're still at these higher lows, but not by much. We can see that we're kind of plateauing, right? Our EMA line isn't as steep and upward anymore. It's starting to kind of plateau off. So we're losing momentum, and that's understandable. As we said, natural gas is very oversold on the 180 day. So for us to see a reversal is not that crazy. And it looks like we're testing the support. Can we see a push back up? Again, we may start seeing a reversal in natural gas and a drop in D-gas. Natural gas is trading above the EMA line now. So I think I'm going to sell 40 of my shares at market, and so now I only have 20 shares. See, now we've gotten a lower low here, right? So we're starting to see that our upward trend may be reversing, right? But we could also identify the support and continue to push up. So again, we want to be ready. And natural gas is getting higher highs. I'm going to sell another 10 shares. Let's see. Alright, so now I'm only holding 10 shares. So I have a small position size because we're starting to see this consolidation factor, and we're moving more in a horizontal line than we are in an uptrend, right? So the value here in D-gas is decreasing, right? So I still have my 10 shares. My average price is $235.70. If I see a pullback here, which could be expected, all right, see, so we're starting to pull back. Now what I want to pay attention to is, are we going to get below this previous low, right? So if I draw a line here and I put this across, there we go. All right, so are we going to find a support above this line, or are we going to break below it? And if we break below this line, then I'm going to sell the rest of my position and walk away from D-gas. However, if we find a support above this line and it starts to bounce, then I might buy in and increase my position size and continue to ride degas. So again, this is why it's important to not panic sell. I'm going to end the video here, and hopefully as things go on, I'll continue to keep you guys updated. But I hope that you guys found value in this video, and please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll catch you guys later.